Hi, friends. I'm Stevie. Thanks for joining me for this Misuse Your Desk Chair mini series. First of all, if you've already listened to this intro spiel about this mini series with standalone classes, you can go ahead and skip to. But if you'd like to hear the information, let's get into it. So, I've had a lot of people ask me for really quick mini classes in a variety of categories or even surrounding postures that they can do using their chair, whether it's a standard chair like this, a dining chair, or a desk chair, and that are quick. So if they do happen to either work from home or work in an office, they might be able to do it on a quick break or during lunch. And yeah, I'm happy to do this. I do spend a lot of time sitting myself. I am lucky enough to work from home, but I spend a lot of time sitting. And it is fun to use your chair in other ways. Now, I'll say there are so many ways to use your chair. And if you look in the prop section of our app, you'll find that I have quite a few chair classes, including like a chair dance and then some really heated chair classes. There's chair classes where we lay on the floor, where we lay over the chair. With this Misuse Your Desk Chair series, I wanted to keep it a little simple for multiple reasons. One is if you do have a desk chair, like a rolling desk chair that you can't lock or something like that, we don't really necessarily want to be doing too much with standing on it or getting crazy and laying over it. And two, if you want to do this in your office, well, then I welcome that. I used to definitely do handstand breaks in my office, although my office was accepting of this. I worked for a health food company at the time, and they were used to my nonsense. But I know that maybe if we are in the office, we don't necessarily want to like lay on the floor a lot and do things like that. So I'll say this is going to be using the idea of like sitting on the chair, standing next to the chair, maybe putting one foot on the chair, and we'll be doing that in a lot, but not necessarily like laying down on the floor and doing wild things like that. So there are plenty more ways to misuse your chair, and you can check out some of our other classes in the prop section to see some expanded version of that. These are beginner friendly, foundation based. We won't necessarily be doing any really complex moves or super deep because it is faster, and some of them are meant to be heating and some of them are softer. That being said, because these are really short classes, the pace itself can seem a little intimidating to those who are new, just the idea of following so many cues, clues and cues. But I will say that because they're so short, I really, really recommend that you come back to them as many times as you'd like. They get more familiar in your body and you're able to kind of roll through and maybe modify or change anything that you know that you personally need. So don't be intimidated by the pace. It's there to help you get through it quickly and to have something really short, fast, sometimes heated that you can do when you've been sitting for a while. Now, as far as props go for all these classes, you'll need a chair. I prefer something that doesn't roll because there is one or two classes where you can put a foot up or even step onto the chair. It doesn't matter if it's padded or not. Maybe you like it padded. You can always have a blanket or towel around to add to that. Depending on your height and the height of the chair, you may want some blocks or books so that sometimes you could put your feet on the blocks or your hands on the blocks, and that is 100% up to you. So I do recommend having some kind of blanket or towel nearby, or even just a sweatshirt, or if you're at work, having some books or blocks that you can pop out and use whenever you'd like. And that goes for all the classes. I'll continue adding to these and they can be done in any order. There isn't a specific order for these. If we get enough, we might throw them into their own category. But yeah, let me know what other misuse your desk chairs you'd like to see, and let's get moving. Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Misuse Your Desk Chair. This one is all about the hips. Hips can mean so many different things, so this is just a little sprinkling of hip mobility in a variety of different directions. Emphasis on kind of external rotation, a little bit of adduction and abduction since we did extension and more of the unfurl aspect. But don't worry, there'll be many more of these. Per usual, grab any props you need, blocks or books to bring the floor closer to you, blanket to make this seat a little bit softer, and then we'll get started like we always do, sitting towards the front edge of our chair with the feet on the ground, long spine. Take a minute to ground down through your feet. Press your sit bones into the chair. Lift the top of your head towards the ceiling. Press down more through your left leg and pull your right knee in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze. Maybe move your right knee slightly towards your right armpit to give it a little bit more space. Tug it in. Roll through the ankle. Wiggle your toes. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh and let your right knee fall wide. And that might look like this, that might look like this. Depending on where you are here, it can feel interesting to hinge at the hips and tip forward. It may not feel interesting at all. You can use the weight of your upper body gently to press down into that leg. Again, listening to your hips and your body. These things take some time and consistency, and especially with these little 10 to 15 minute classes, sometimes it can be hard to get into that heated place to find depth in some of these stretches. So keep that in mind. Whatever this looks like in your body today is a great place to be. It's a figure 4. Release any kind of fold you have. Pull the right knee back into your belly for a moment and release it down. Pull the left knee to your chest. Maybe take it out a little bit more towards the left armpit. You might have some tissue to move out of the way, belly, breasts. Do what you need to do. Wiggle through your toes, your ankle. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Let your knee fall out. And you may be like, my knee doesn't fall out. It just is here. That's a great place to be. You can focus on sitting up tall, maybe gently laying an arm on your leg for a little bit of support. If you do have this space to kind of hinge at the hips, you can do that too. You may find the sensation increases. Keep a long spine here. Press through your bottom foot. One side might be very different than another. Great. Pick up the torso. Pull the left knee to your chest. One more squeeze. Release it down to the floor. Take your, we'll do the right knee first. Take your right knee 90 degrees out to the right, like a little half goddess action here. And your left knee stays pointing forward. Face your shoulders towards your left knee for a moment. Side bend towards your right knee. Drape your right arm inside of your right leg and your left arm towards the sky, or maybe even along your left ear for a little extra support. Pick up the torso, but keep the legs. Spin, twist your upper body towards that right knee, the one that's shifted out. Maybe you can hook your left hand on that thigh somewhere and take your right arm behind you for a little bit of a twist here. Sometimes twisting can surprisingly give us a little bit more space in the hips. Knees are open about 90 degrees here, a little twist. Lovely, lovely. Unwind, switch sides. Left knee out, 90 degrees. Pour your left arm inside of that leg and right arm up, a little side bend. Reach long from your right fingertips down to your right sit bone, kind of stretching them in opposite directions. Pick up through the torso. Twist your upper body towards that left knee, the one out to the side. Hook something. Maybe you reach for the back of the chair if that's available and assist with your twist. Lovely, lovely. Unwind. Bring both feet to the middle just for a moment. Squeeze them together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the inner thighs. And then open your feet out into a goddess. It doesn't have to be your widest goddess. I like my feet slightly wider than my mat here. I'm still sitting towards the front of my chair to give myself a little bit of space. I like my feet turned out about 45 degrees. You choose what works best for your body. Right arm inside of right leg. Drip it down. Push firmly through both feet. Take a side bend. Switch it to the other side. Side bend to the left. Side bend to the right. Side bend to the left. Side bend to the right. One more time. Side bend to the left. Come up. Take your hands on your knees. Shift the torso forward, thinking about a long spine to start. Shift the torso forward, weight in the hands, weight in the feet. Bend into your left elbow and tip your right shoulder towards the floor, kind of twisting over to your left. And take it to the other side. twist to the left, twist to the right, twist to the left, twist to the right. Well, my hair is messy. Twist to the left, and one more time, twist to the right. Great. Imagine you were going to do like a wide-legged squat off the chair. Set up your feet for that. Pour your torso down. You can round through the spine if that feels good. And take your hands maybe to the floor or your fingertips to the floor. I like to reach mine kind of out in front of me here and really kind of round and push. Widen the knees. Great. Walk your hands back slightly. Bring them onto your knees. Hands on the knees. Shift the torso forward. Push into your hands. Push into your feet. Hover your booty off the floor. Tap it onto the chair. Lift it up. Tap it onto the chair. Lift it up. Tap, lift. Wide-legged squat, sumo squat. Tap, lift. Tap, lift. Maybe you want to take your hands off of your knees and reach them forward. Tap, lift. Keep a long spine. Tap, lift. Tap, lift. Woo! Just lifting like an inch or two. Tap, that's the yucky part. Tap, lift. Tap, lift. Tap, lift. Tap, lift. Try not to thunk down, just a light tap. Tap, lift. We got two more. Tap, lift. Widen your knees. Tap, lift. Come all the way to a stand, straighten your leg. Ugh. Shift your hips from side to side. Okay, walk your feet maybe as wide as your mat, or if you had a mat. And you're still fairly close to the chair, but there's a little bit of a space. Shift the weight into your left knee and step the right foot behind your left. So we're kind of coming to the knife edge of the right foot. The chair's just there. We're not going to use it for one moment. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Bend into your left knee. Take your left hand to your left hip. Right arm up. Side bend over towards the left. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Maybe you take your left hand up to grab your right forearm and kind of tug it over, increasing the side body stretch. Send your right hip towards the right. Great. Bring your torso upright. Now, this is a little weird. Pull your right knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze. Open it. Close it. Open it. Close it. When I say open, I mean open it to the side. It's a little balance challenge, and close it. Keep it bent in your bottom knee. One more time. Open. Close it. This time when you open it, look back and plant it on the chair. Hop your left foot back until it's about even with that front leg of the chair. So what we're now doing is like a supported tree, right? But it's a little higher maybe than some people support a tree. So if this absolutely doesn't work for you, you can put your toes down on the ground while we do this and think about more of this kind of supported tree, right? But if you're like, oh, I do like this kind of more adduction and hamstring stretch, put it up on the chair. You can also put your bottom foot on the block, and that'll make it less intense. Really think about widening out through that right knee and facing both hip points towards the front of the mat space. Small bend into that bottom knee. A little bit of hip flossing here. And pay attention to your knees. Pay attention to how your body feels. There's no need to push this. Right now, both of the hip bones are open towards the front of the mat. What would happen if we left the feet how they are? The right foot is kind of turned all the way out, maybe 90 degrees to the right. The left foot is forward. If you turn both your hips towards that right knee, now you heard my nice crack there. It didn't hurt. And I'm paying attention to how my bottom knee feels and not trying to over push this. So I'm really not thinking about totally facing my hips towards the right knee. I'm just kind of flossing back and forth. Open the hips. Close the hip. The knee can rotate, so we're giving it a little bit of love too. Open. Pay attention to how your body feels. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. One more time. Open. Close. Great. Step your your right foot down on the outer right portion of your mat, and then cross your left foot behind it, just doing the other side here to the knife edge of the floor. Bend into your right leg, side bend over towards the right. You can start with your right hand on your hip here. Or if you'd like to reach up and grab your left forearm and kind of tug it over and across, that's nice too. Really press your left hip out to the left and squeeze your inner thighs together. These are all hip stretches. It's not just the idea of middle splits for our hips. Our hips need to move in a lot of different ways. Bring the torso back up. Pull the left knee into the chest. Small bend in the bottom leg. Grab onto that left knee. Open it to the side. Close it. Open it to the side, close it. Open it to the side, balance challenge, close it one more time. Open it to the side, look back, there's the chair. Place that left foot on the chair. Hop your right foot back so that it's about even with the right foot of the chair, and then try to face your hips forward. You can always adjust your stance here. One side might be different than another. We're aiming for like this supported tree. And again, that option is there to bring your foot down to the floor, even put it on a block for something in between, or to put your bottom foot on a block to lift yourself up. Because this can be a lot. This is a lot. We're at like a 90-degree angle here. All right. Face both your hip bones approximately forward towards the front of your mat. And then without moving your feet, face your hip bones towards your left knee. Back forward, gliding slow and smooth towards your left knee. Back forward. You might feel this one more in the left hip, and then as you go more towards the left knee, you might feel it more in your right hip. Forward, left hip, forward, left knee. One more time. Forward, left knee. Great. Release that twist and step your left foot down. Spin to face the chair. Downward facing dog with your hands on the chair, feet back behind you. You know what? Move my chair a little bit. Downward facing dog, and I like to actually step my feet back so they're behind my hips so that when I can press into the chair, my hips are still kind of in front of my ankles. Bend a little bit into both knees or a lot of it. Push into the chair. Send your right leg up behind you. Bend your knee and open your hips. So it's like a three-legged dog, and take some circles. Go the other way. Great. Pause with your right knee up. Take a big inhale. Exhale, cross the body, right knee towards the left wrist. Place the knife edge of the right foot down on the floor, still bending into that right knee. So it's like this weird pigeon stance with your hands on the chair. So bend into the right knee. Try to face both hips mainly forward. I'm high on the back toes. You can adjust where your back foot is too. So we're kind of crossing the body here with the hips. And then, keeping the position of the feet, work that right leg to or towards straight. Squeegee your legs towards each other, shoulders square over the chair. Rebend into that right knee. Work the right leg towards straight. Rebend. Work the right leg towards straight. Rebend. Work towards straight. One more time. Rebend. Work towards straight. Pause. Push in your hands. Push in your back foot. Can you hover through that right leg and maybe even gently pulse the inner edge of the foot and the leg towards the left? We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull your right knee towards your nose. Step it outside the right portion of your chair. Hands on your chair. Anything goes here with this lizard, with the foot on the floor and the hands on the chair. You could put your back knee down if that's comfortable and even put it on a blanket, or you can keep it lifted up. I'm going to put it down so I can get a little stretch to my back hip, because I know that that's what I personally need more than like a stretch in the front hip. If you are thinking about the back hip, squeeze your booty, pull your pubic bone towards your sternum. Squeeze your booty, pull your pubic bone towards your sternum. We've got the chair for support here. You can even lean forward onto the chair with your forearms there and get a little bit more of a bend into that front knee. This is nice for me because it's more of an ankle stretch as I send my knee past my toes, really squeezing that back booty. I'm going to even reach back and touch it. Be like, hey, left booty, what you doing? Pull your pubic bone up. Great. Shift the hips back slightly so that you can walk your hands back to the chair. Walk your hands towards the left section of the chair. Lift up your back knee if you haven't already. Straighten out through both legs just for a moment. Push in your hands, pull your right knee towards your chest, and then step it outside of your right hand on the chair. You can adjust where your left foot is. Do whatever you need to do to get yourself here. Little lizard pose. Rock forward. Shift back, legs somewhat straight. Little hamstring stretch. Rock forward. Shift back. Rock forward. Shift back. Rock forward. Shift back. One more time like that. Rock forward. Shift back. Rock forward to hold. You can even grab onto the back of the chair here, or if you like a twisted lizard, this is a great place to take your right hand onto your right knee. Think about spiraling those inner thighs towards each other. This idea of left hip forward, right hip back can be helpful. Squeeze the left booty. I forgot. Great. Hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip, take some circles. Go the other direction. Pause with your left knee in the air. Inhale. Exhale, cross the left knee towards the right wrist. Put the knife edge of the left foot down. Little pigeon, spin your shoulders towards the chair, your hips towards the chair, kind of squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Bend deeply into that left knee and press the knife edge of the foot firmly into the ground. Again, adjust your back foot as needed. And then start to work that front leg towards straight. You can shift the back leg back or even try to focus on getting the heel down for a little ankle stretch on the right leg. Rebend, little pigeon pose. Tap the chair with your left knee maybe. Straighten out through the legs. Ankle stretch for the back foot. Rebend, squeeze the inner thighs together. Straighten. Rebend. Straighten. Rebend. Straighten. Rebend. Straighten. Pause. Push into your hands, push into your back foot. Maybe the front foot hovers, and you pulse the inner edge towards the sky. Now, it doesn't have to be straight. You can be bent here. No big deal. Pulse. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull your left knee to your nose. Step your left foot outside of the left portion of your chair here. Lizard pose. Rock forward and back a little bit. Kind of shifting straightish legs. And then maybe you want to push your back knee down. This is a great place to be, even bringing your forearms onto the chair and focusing more on a hip extension stretch for the back leg. Squeeze firmly through that right booty and pull the pubic bone up. If you really want a quad stretch, go for it, friends. If you need to do anything else, that's lovely. I like kind of sometimes pumping my knee up and down off the floor, especially with the support of the chair here. My hands and my forearms down. This feels really doable. And I'm focusing on squeezing my right glute the whole time and really pulling my pubic bone up. Lovely, lovely. Shift your hips back just so you can bring your hands to the chair slightly more towards the right. Pick up the back knee, rock back and forth a few times. And then when you're ready, pull your left knee towards your nose and step it outside of your left hand. So again, adjust your back foot as desired for this lizard pose. You may want to shift back and forth a little bit, stretching through that front hip and ankle, as well as getting some hip extension through the back hip, the right hip. Really, for that hip extension, focus on the squeeze of the glute of the back leg and pulling the pubic bone up. This is a nice place to add a twist, twisting towards your front leg. What do you want to do here? A little bounce can feel nice. And as you're ready, bring your hands back inside of the foot. Maybe shift back, a little hamstring stretch, rebend. Shift back, straightening through the legs, get a little hamstring stretch, rebend, hammies, lizard, hammies, lizard, hammies. Great. Hands down, step off. Okay, very last thing. Face sideways on the chair. So your left side is towards the chair. And how far you are away is really going to be up to you. What we're doing here is like a little chair-supported skandasana. And so what I mean by that is more like a skater, is we're going to be doing a little lunge here with the heel of the left foot on the chair, pushing down into the chair and kind of dragging back. My leg is almost straight, but there's a small bend here. I like to turn my right foot out, and then I'll just be bending, thinking about setting my hips back behind me as I hinge my torso. I'm looking for a stretch sensation across the back of my left leg and maybe slightly on the inside. You can take your hands to your right leg, but try to avoid like a big twist. Maybe I like one on both sides, more like on my thigh, or even reaching down towards the chair. So it's a little squat and a lift, squat and a lift. Maybe you can reach the arms forward, squat, lift, squat, lift, squat, lift, squat, lift. One more. Squat, lift. Great. Switch to the other side. Maybe a different distance, depending on your leg again. Heel on the chair, press down through the heel and drag back. Notice what happens when you push your heel down and drag it back. Ooh, nice hip pop too. You can feel your hamstring kind of working a little bit there. That's what we're looking for. Do whatever you want with your ankle. And then figure out what your left foot needs to do to find that squat position. Hinge at the hips, shift the hips back as you bend and lift. Bend and lift. Bend and lift. Bend and lift. The more you push down through that heel and drag it back, probably the more sensation you will feel as you do these squats. One more time. Bend and lift. Great. Take your foot off the chair. Sit. Relax. You did it. You made it. Just a quick little flirt with hip mobility and some hip work in a variety of different directions here. There's so much we can do with the hips, so I'll probably do another round. If you're looking for anything in particular, let me know. There is more hip extension work in the unfurl version of this series, as well as a variety of like spine and shoulder stuff. But let me know what else you'd like to see. Appreciate y'all being here so much. We have some more fun stuff in this series coming along, but I'm always open to your suggestions. See you again soon.